my previous video, I presented how I built a raised bed garden with wood planks and cement blocks. Here are my top 10 mistakes that I made with my previous raised bed garden. I learned a lesson, and since I failed fast, I was also able to recover fairly quickly. Mistake number 1. The F-150 I used to haul cement blocks did not have enough payload capacity. I was only 5 miles from the home improvement store and was lucky to manage to drive home without a flat tire and get pulled over. If I have to do it again, I won't use the F-150. I'll also not buy an entire pallet at once. Mistake number 2. I underestimated the weight of cement blocks. Returning them was a pain in the neck as they were not easy to load and unload. I got bruises all over my fingers and body. If I have to do it again, I'll make sure to gear up myself with appropriate attire while handling them. Mistake number 3. Not leaving enough space between two beds. I planned based on what I thought would make more sense, but I did not realize that once I hit the curve and turned left or right with a wheelbarrow, I would need more space to maneuver. If I have to do it again, I'll plan to leave at least 4 feet between the corners of the beds, not just between two parallel beds. Mistake number 4. Using eco-friendly contractor paper for unwanted plants and grass barriers. I used contractor paper and biodegradable landscaping fabric. It did nothing to stop the opportunist, native grasses and other plants to poke through the fabric. Spring came, then came the summer, and the entire garden took its previous form and stayed again. The mistake number 5. Not clearing out the floor surface. The section where we built raised beds had raised beds in past from the previous owner. The floor was covered with rocks and stones in sizes ranging from small to big. It caused the surface to be uneven, and even with the 2 inches of wood chips over them, I could still feel a few rocks poking my feet here and there. If I have to do it again, I would not start laying out the cardboard until I clear everything from the rocks to plastics to older fabrics that stay underneath. Mistake number 6. Underestimating the damage done to the wood planks. I used all natural tung oil as a sealer. However, what I did not realize was contact with soil and organic matter. In just one summer, the wood planks started to age. If I have to do it again, I will triple coat with a natural and bio-based sealer that would increase the age of the woods for at least 5 years before I could replace them. Mistake number 7. Not using enough wood chips. I put about 2 inches of wood chips over the fabric. It was not enough to stop those opportunists from growing out. If I have to do it again, I would cover the surface with at least 10 inches if not a foot. You might think it's a lot of wood chips, but over time, with enough rain, it decomposes quickly. Mistake number 8. Overly using compost. It made the soil very imbalanced, and with the fungal dominant, most of the veggies we planted or seeds we sowed either did not sprout or become leggy and weak. We had a crop failure, and the harvest was very small to none. If I do it again, I would make sure I use the proper balance of compost, topsoil, and other soil amendments as minerals and such. Most likely I would just sow alfalfa and clover over the fall. Let it grow for a year and then start planting the veggies next year when the soil becomes more natural and well balanced. Mistake number 9. Underestimating the water requirement. I used a water hose to water my veggies every other day for the summer crops. It became tedious, and soon I installed a sprinkler system, not drip irrigation. It did more harm than good. 50% of the crop had some kind of fungus disease. If I had to do it again, I would use root stout or Fukuoka's natural farming method. Mistake number 10. Building a raised bed garden too far from the house. It was one of the biggest mistakes I made. I only thought about 8 hours of direct sunlight and chose the spot. Since the raised garden beds were not too close to the house, they did not get as much attention as they deserved. If I have to do it again, I'll build the raised bed garden close to the house where it would get more attention and prompt action in case of pest and disease. Harvesting would be more desirable and worry-free if the beds are built close to the house.